The emotional escape room. Unlocking your stuck feels with a pen and a giggle. Let's be brutally honest. Sometimes our inner world resembles a forgotten storage locker after a hurricane, a chaotic jumble of unidentified emotional objects covered in dust bunnies of avoidance. We feel off, irritable, numb, or perpetually stuck, sensing something is brewing beneath the surface, but the door seems welded shut. Welcome to the realm of blocked emotions. These aren't just passing moods. They're the feelings we've expertly sidelined, buried under layers of I'm fine, societal shoulds, or the sheer overwhelm of modern existence. They fester, leak out as misplaced anger, anxiety, or physical tension, and generally act like grumpy poltergeists messing with our inner peace. But what if I told you the master key to this emotional escape room isn't a complex therapy technique, though those are great too, or a mystical incantation, but something far simpler, cheaper, and potentially more hilarious? Enter the humble journal prompt. Forget sterile lists. We're about to embark on an archaeological dig into your psyche, armed with curiosity, a pen, and a healthy dose of absurdity. Buckle up. This excavation promises revelations, releases, and maybe even a snort laugh or two. Why the blockade? Building Fort Knox inside your skull. Before we pick the lock, let's understand why we build these emotional fortresses in the first place. It's rarely malice, usually misguided self-preservation. 1. The big boys/girls don't cry brigade. From toddlerhood, we absorb messages. Don't make a scene. Stop being so sensitive. Man up. We learn certain feelings, sadness, fear, vulnerability, are unwelcome guests. So, we shove them in the mental basement and pretend they don't exist. Result? A basement full of sulking emotional gremlins. 2. The overwhelm avalanche. Life throws curveballs, grief, trauma, chronic stress. Facing the full force of those feelings can feel like staring down a tsunami. Blocking them out becomes a survival tactic, albeit one with an expiration date. It's like trying to hold back the ocean with a spaghetti strainer. Messy and ultimately futile. 3. The should police. I should be happy with this promotion. I shouldn't be angry at my best friend. We contort our genuine feelings to fit internalized rules or societal expectations, creating friction and blockage. Your inner critic becomes a tiny, clipboard-wielding dictator policing your emotional authenticity. For the fear of the feels, what if I start crying and never stop? What if this anger consumes me? What if this sadness means I'm broken? The unknown consequence of the feeling feels scarier than the numbness. It's like being afraid to open a closet door because you think there might be a monster, ignoring the fact the suspicious thumping sound is getting louder. The journal, your crowbar, your compass, your comedy club. Journaling cuts through the noise. It's a private, judgment-free zone where your inner world gets to sprawl out on the page, unedited and unfiltered. Prompts act as focused invitations, bypassing the where do I even start paralysis and gently prying open those sealed emotional doors. The goal isn't necessarily fixing, but acknowledging and experiencing what's already there, often leading to profound shifts. And humor? It's the WD-40 for stiff emotional hinges. Laughter disarms the inner critic, reduces shame, and makes the whole process feel less like a grim excavation and more like a quirky adventure in self-discovery. The prompt arsenal, dynamite for your emotional logjam, comedy fuses included. Forget generic. How do you feel? That's like asking a fish about water. We need targeted, sometimes delightfully weird questions. Let's explore different blockage types. and the prompts designed to crack them open. 1. That I feel nothing, but my shoulders are in my ears. Block. Accessing buried sadness and grief. Prompt. Describe your sadness/grief as if it were a physical object in the room right now. What color, shape, texture, and weight is it? Does it make a sound? If you poked it with a stick metaphorically, what would happen? Where exactly in your body is it currently napping? Why it unlocks, bypasses the mind's defenses by engaging the senses and imagination. Describing sadness as a cold, heavy, gray beanbag chair parked on my chest that occasionally emits a faint sigh is less intimidating than just saying, I'm sad. It objectifies the feeling, making it manageable. Plus, picturing yourself poking your sadness with a stick? Inherently silly. Comedy angle. What if your grief is actually a tiny, melodramatic opera singer living in your spleen? Give it a ridiculous name and backstory. Meet Reginald, my spleen-dwelling diva. Today, he's singing a tragic aria about the last biscuit. Prompt. Write a goodbye and thank you letter to something you've lost, a person, a dream, a phase of life, your ability to tolerate nonsense before coffee. Be brutally honest, thank it for the good, acknowledge the pain of its absence, and maybe even tell it what a pain it could sometimes be. Why it unlocks, formalizes the grieving process, allowing appreciation and anger to coexist. Writing to a lost dream. Dear dream of being a professional unicorn jockey, thanks for the sparkling memories. Sorry it didn't work out. Apparently winged equine expertise isn't a recognized degree path. Also, you cost a fortune in glitter. Sincerely me. Comedy angle. Allow for absurd honesty. Thank your lost youth for the metabolism, but blame it for questionable fashion choices involving neon spandex. 2. The I'm fine, said through gritted teeth. Block. Releasing pent-up anger and frustration. Prompt. Write the most spectacularly petty, over-the-top, Shakespearean insult, rant directed at the source of your frustration. A person, situation, malfunctioning printer, the concept of Mondays. Use exaggerated language, dramatic metaphors, and invent new curse words. Go wild. Why it unlocks. Provides a safe, cathartic outlet for explosive energy without real-world fallout. Calling your annoying coworker a festering carbuncle on the backside of productivity on paper releases steam. Comedy angle. This is pure gold. Encourage ridiculousness. Oh, thou vacuum of joy, thou art a walking, talking example of why we can't have nice things. May thy Wi-Fi forever be weak, and thy avocados forever be rotten. The sheer absurdity diffuses the intensity. Prompt. Describe your anger as a type of weather system moving through your body. Is it a sudden thunderstorm? A slow-burning heat wave? A blizzard of icy fury? Track its path. Where does the lightning strike? Where does the hail fall? When does the forecast predict it might clear, even slightly? Why it unlocks. Externalizes the anger, making it a temporary phenomenon, a weather system, rather than your core identity. Tracking its path fosters body awareness and the understanding that it will pass. Comedy angle. Give your weather system a ridiculous name like Hurricane Grumpy Pants or the Great Salt Blizzard of 24. Report on its progress like an overly dramatic meteorologist. Tornado warnings are in effect for the region of my left eyebrow. 3. The I'm a fraud and everyone will find out block. Disarming shame and fear. Prompt. Write down your biggest fear or shameful thought. Then imagine your kindest, most ridiculous friend or spirit animal. Maybe a wisecracking sloth or a grandma who knits sweaters for garden gnomes is reading it. Write their response in their voice. What would they actually say? Why it unlocks. Shame thrives in secrecy and the assumption of universal condemnation. Hearing a compassionate, possibly humorous perspective from an imagined ally instantly reduces its power. Comedy angle. The more absurd the chosen friend/animal, the better. Picture a parrot squawking. You feel shame about that? Sugar. I once ate an entire birthday cake meant for a toddler. Squawk. Forgive yourself. Absurd compassion is incredibly disarming. Prompt. List 5 things you believe make you not good enough. Now, rewrite each one as if it were being narrated by the world's most bored, monotone documentary voiceover guy. Here we observe the human, experiencing the common phenomenon of mismatched socks. Truly, a crisis for the ages. Why it unlocks. Forces you to hear your harsh self-judgments in an utterly ridiculous context, highlighting their inherent absurdity and diminishing their weight. Comedy angle. This is pure satire. Narrate your failure to keep a perfect house as if it's a National Geographic special on dust bunnies. The creature attempts tidy. It is futile. The dust bunnies, they multiply with relentless purpose. Suddenly, it's hard to take the inner critic so seriously. For the what even is this feeling? Block. Identifying the murky and confusing. Prompt. Draw a quick sketch of your emotional landscape right now. Don't worry about artistic skill. Use shapes, colors, lines, and symbols. Is it a tangled knot? A stormy sea? A confusing IKEA diagram? Label the parts. What's that scribble in the corner? What does the big red splotch represent? Why it unlocks. Engages the nonverbal, intuitive brain. Visual representation can bypass cognitive blocks and reveal feelings you couldn't articulate. Comedy angle. Embrace the terrible drawing. Laugh at your lopsided shapes. Label a chaotic scribble, general sense of impending doom, probably just hunger. Call a wobbly circle the void where my motivation used to be. Prompt. If your current emotional state was a quirky side character in a sitcom, who would they be? What's their name? What's their catchphrase? What ridiculous thing are they constantly doing? E.g., this is Mildred. She's perpetually flustered, carries a leaky teacup of anxiety, and her catchphrase is, oh dear, well I never. Why it unlocks. Personification and humor create distance and perspective. Turning your anxiety into Mildred makes it observable, less personal, and inherently less threatening. Comedy angle. This is character creation gold. Make them gloriously flawed and specific. Meet Barry, the embodiment of my procrastination. He wears sweatpants 24/7, speaks only in grunts, and his superpower is finding incredibly detailed Wikipedia articles about 18th century shoemaking when deadlines loom. 5. The body knows best block. Tuning into physical sensations. Prompt. Do a quick body scan. What do you feel tension, discomfort, or odd sensations right now? Describe that sensation in the most hyperbolic, ridiculous terms possible. Is it like angry squirrels doing Zumba in my shoulders? Like my stomach is trying to fold itself into origami? Like my big toe is humming the theme to Jaws? Why it unlocks. Emotions manifest physically long before we cognitively identify them. Focusing on sensation grounds us and provides clues. Exaggeration reduces anxiety around the sensation. Comedy angle. The more ludicrous the description, the better. My lower back feels like 2 grumpy badgers are attempting couples therapy there. It's not going well. This acknowledges the discomfort while refusing to be intimidated by it. Prompt. Imagine your body part holding the most tension, e.g., clenched jaw, knotted stomach, could send you a text message. What would it say? Use emojis liberally. Why it unlocks, creates direct communication with the somatic experience of emotion. Emojis add a layer of accessible expression. Comedy angle. Picture your stomach texting, "Dude, WTF was that third taco?" SOS. Send Tums. Stat. Raised hand. Or your jaw. Seriously? More stress? Unclench me, Brenda. I can't hold this grimace forever. Raised hand. The grand unveiling. What happens when the doors creak open? Using these prompts isn't about forcing a volcanic eruption of feeling. It's about creating controlled releases, moments of recognition, and gentle thawing. The results can be surprising. The physical whoosh, releasing a long-held emotion, often manifests physically. A sigh, tears, a sudden drop in shoulder tension, even a giggle. It's literal energy moving. Unexpected tears or laughter writing about something seemingly trivial might unlock a deeper, connected sadness. Conversely, trying to be serious about your anger might dissolve it into laughter at its own absurdity. Sudden clarity, identifying, "Oh, that's why I snapped at the barista," or this numbness started after that stressful meeting, provides invaluable self-awareness. Increased resilience. Processing emotions as they arise prevents them from accumulating into an impenetrable block. You develop emotional agility. Enhanced empathy. Understanding your own inner chaos fosters compassion for the hidden struggles of others. The not-so-fine print. Wielding your journal wisely. Privacy is paramount. This is your raw, unfiltered space. Keep it safe. The freedom to be honest hinges on knowing no one else will see it unless you choose to share. Permission to be messy. Grammar, spelling, coherence, irrelevant. Let it be chaotic. Embrace the run-on sentences and crossed-out words. This is brain dumping, not publishing. Consistency over perfection. 5 messy minutes is better than 0 perfect hours. Build the habit. Think of it as emotional hygiene. Compassion is key. Approach what you uncover with kindness, especially the uncomfortable stuff. You're doing brave work. Your inner critic doesn't get the microphone during journaling time. Imagine handing them a lollipop and shushing them. Humor as healer, not denial. Laughter should disarm and release, not avoid. If a prompt brings up something overwhelming, it's okay to step back, breathe, and maybe return later or seek support. Humor makes the journey lighter, not the destination less important. The resistance prompt, staring at a blank page? Write that, "I hate journaling right now. This is dumb. I feel nothing but annoyance. My pen is judging me." This prompt can go jump in a lake. Often, breaking the seal of resistance with pure grumpiness unlocks the flow. Conclusion. Your pen, your passport. Unlocking blocked emotions isn't about achieving some zen-like state of perpetual emotional transparency. It's about reclaiming your inner landscape from the dust bunnies and grumpy gremlins. It's about trading the heavy armor of numbness for the lighter, more flexible cloak of awareness. Journal prompts, especially those infused with curiosity and a dash of the ridiculous, are your lockpicks, your crowbars, your secret decoder rings. Think of your journal not as a stern therapist's notepad, but as a trusted, slightly eccentric co-conspirator. It's the friend who hands you a glitter pen when you need to rage, the one who nods sagely when you describe your anxiety as a tiny llama wearing a top hat, the one who celebrates the messy, imperfect, gloriously human process of feeling your way through this wild life. So, grab your notebook, the cheapest spiral-bound or the fanciest leather tome, it matters not. Pick a prompt that tickles your fancy or pokes your resistance. Embrace the absurdity. Be kind to the feelings that emerge, even especially the awkward ones. Start writing. Start poking the metaphorical beanbag chair of sadness. Start composing Shakespearean insults for your malfunctioning printer. Start texting with your stomach. The door to your emotional escape room isn't welded shut. It's just a bit stiff. Your pen, wielded with honesty and a willingness to laugh at the glorious mess within, is the perfect lubricant. Turn the key. Step through. The adventure, hilarious, poignant, and profoundly liberating, awaits on the other side. Your authentic, unfiltered, emotionally fluid self is waiting to be rediscovered, one prompt, one giggle, one cathartic scribble at a time. Now, go unleash the gremlins, with compassion, of course. If you found this video informative, please like and subscribe. It will really help this channel out. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more informative videos coming.